Hello and welcome to Pocket Wellbeing Friend, the podcast that fits in your pocket and walks beside you through the mess, the magic and the everyday moments of life. I'm Dan and today we're talking about something that almost everyone wants, but few people really understand: happiness. We chase it, we measure our lives by it, we wonder why we don't feel it enough, and sometimes the more we try to grab it, the further away it seems. So in this episode, we're asking, what is happiness really? What does science say about what makes us happy? And why does chasing happiness sometimes make us miserable? We'll also talk about how we can create a life that's good in real, grounded ways without falling into toxic positivity or pressure. This isn't about pretending to be positive all the time. It's about understanding what happiness really is and how to invite more of it into your everyday life without turning it into another thing to hustle for. So, take a breath, drop your shoulders. This space is for you. Let's begin. Let's start with this. Most of what we've been taught about happiness is wrong. We live in a world that sells happiness as a destination. When you get the job, you'll be happy. Or when you lose the weight, you'll be happy. When you buy the car, the house, the holiday, you'll be happy. But here's the science behind that. Those things might give you a boost, but it rarely lasts. Why? Well, because of something called hedonic adaptation. It means that when something happens, our happiness spikes and then our brain resets to baseline. That new car smell fades, the big achievement becomes normal, and then we need the next thing to feel the same high. Now, this isn't a flaw. It's how our brains are wired to keep us striving and surviving. But if we don't understand it, we end up on the hedonic treadmill, running faster and faster towards happiness, but never actually arriving. Researchers like Martin Seligman talk about three elements: pleasure, the feeling good in the moment, the warm bath, a great meal, or a funny film; engagement, being deeply absorbed in something meaningful, where time feels like it disappears; and meaning, feeling like life has purpose beyond ourselves. Most of us over-focus on pleasure, the quick hits of dopamine, but long-term happiness depends more on engagement and meaning. Here's the paradox. The more you chase happiness as a goal, the harder it is to feel. Because when you measure every moment against, am I happy yet? You start noticing what's missing instead of what's there. Happiness isn't a permanent state. It's a byproduct of values, connection, your purpose, and your presence. I want you to pause here for a moment and ask yourself, when was the last time I felt genuinely content? Now, what I mean by that is not excited or on a high, but steady and okay. What was I doing? Who was I with? Was it about things or was it a moment? Now, these reflections matter because they start to shift our idea of what happiness really is. Now, let's zoom inside the brain for a moment. Happiness isn't magic, it's biology, and knowing how it works helps us work with it instead of against it. Now, inside the brain, we have all the happiness chemicals that we hear on ads as buzzwords, like dopamine, the anticipation chemical. It gives you a hit when you expect something good. It's great for motivation, but it wears off fast. Serotonin, that's linked to mood stability and the sense of well-being. It's boosted by sunlight, movement and connection. The endorphins, natural painkillers that make you feel good, triggered by laughter, exercise, or even a good cry. And oxytocin, the bonding hormone, released by hugs and eye contact and trust. Do you notice something though? Most of these aren't tied to big achievements. They're tied to everyday experiences. We think happiness is the big stuff, promotions or lottery wins, but research shows that after big life events, good or bad, most people return to the baseline within months. Where happiness really lives is in the daily rituals or human connection, the sense of progress and purpose. There are some things you can do to boost your brain happiness, and they may even surprise you. Things like get morning light to boost your serotonin, move your body even a little bit of a walk, laugh on purpose, yes, schedule something funny, or hug someone safe, or do something kind for another person. Those tiny, repeatable actions matter more than huge, rare wins. Here's the truth that might sting. The more we compare, the less we feel content. I've talked about this before on the podcast, and social media is a comparison machine. You're not comparing your life to reality, you're comparing it to someone's curated highlight reel. Their holiday photos, you don't see the argument they've had in the airport before. Their career wins, but you don't see the 3 interviews they went to before that. Or their smiling selfies. You don't see the 3 selfies that were unedited before they posted that selfie. Comparison shifts your brain into scarcity mode. Instead of noticing what you have, you fixate on what you lack. Now, every scroll gives you a hit of dopamine, the anticipation of something interesting, but it also keeps your brain on high alert for status, belonging and approval, and the result, well, less presence, less gratitude, and more pressure to keep up. So how do you reclaim your time from the dopamine addiction? What can you do? You could take one day off social media, a social media fast as such, and notice what happens to your mood. Why not curate your feed on social media quite ruthlessly? Mute anyone who triggers comparison. Or replace 10 minutes of scrolling with 10 minutes of something else, listening to music or a walk. Happiness isn't about feeling good all the time. It's about creating conditions where joy and meaning can coexist with real life. Now, there are 3 pillars of lasting happiness: connection, deep, safe relationships, not quantity but quality; purpose, having something bigger than yourself to care about; and presence, the ability to notice what's here without rushing past it. These science-backed practices will help you achieve those 3 pillars. Gratitude journaling. Write down 3 specific things you're grateful for. It rewires your brain for noticing good. Acts of kindness by helping others boost your own mood more than spending time on yourself. Flow activities, and what I mean by that is doing something immersive: art, music, running, even puzzles, something where you don't notice the passing of time while you're doing it. And savouring. When something good happens, pause and stretch in that moment. Savour the moment. Now, I promise no toxic positivity on this podcast, so remember, self-compassion matters here. You don't have to be happy all the time to be doing life well. Sadness, anger, and stress are part of being human. Let happiness be invited, not a demand. But here's a truth no algorithm wants you to know. More stuff, more likes, well, none of it guarantees happiness. Research, again, shows that beyond a basic level of security, extra wealth or status has only a tiny impact on well-being. After that, happiness grows from enoughness. Enough rest, enough connection, enough self-trust. When you stop chasing more, you make space for joy in the ordinary. Here's a little enoughness exercise I'd like you to try. Each day, or when you can, ask yourself, what is enough for me today? What would contentment look like if nothing changed? Where can I slow down instead of speed up? Happiness often hides in what's already there. So, as we come to the end of this week's episode, I hope you've enjoyed listening, but I just want to repeat that happiness isn't out there in the someday. It's in the small, repeated moments of connection, meaning and presence. It's not about doing more. It's about noticing more. And remember, you don't need to earn happiness by being perfect or productive. You're allowed to feel good even in an unfinished life. Take a slow, deep breath with me. Let your shoulders drop. Right now, this moment can be enough. In the next episode, which is the final episode of this series, we'll talk about the role of gratitude in mental health. Why gratitude isn't just a buzzword people throw around, and how it can shift your brain, your stress, and your sense of connection in simple, practical ways. Until then, thank you so much for joining me this week. Take care, and remember, you're doing better than you think.